What's up, everybody? My name is Anand from Underdog Strength, and in this video, I'm going to share with you 7 reasons why you should not use a pre workout supplement. Now, I personally don't even consider pre workouts to be a supplement, simply because a supplement by definition is something you take to fill in a deficiency. Now, for example, if you have a protein deficiency, then you would add in a protein supplement to make sure you get enough protein in a day. If you have a vitamin deficiency, then you would make sure you take a vitamin to fill in that deficiency. I would consider pre-workouts to be an ergogenic aid, and this simply means that it has the potential to improve physical performance. Now, I've personally used pre-workouts maybe only a handful of times, and I've been training for more than a decade. And as a coach, I never recommend my clients to use any sort of pre-workout supplements. And these are my top 7 reasons why. Reason number one: most of the pre-workout supplements available in the market today are either overpriced or underdosed. Usually it's a combination of both. Now, if you look at any popular pre-workout supplement in the market today, it is very likely that it is quite expensive. And in fact, it's very common for 1 month supply to cost you anywhere between like 30, 40, or $50 a month, depending on what brand to buy. And this is pretty pricey. You're basically paying like $1 to $2 per workout. And if that wasn't enough, most of these supplements are actually underdosed, meaning that the ingredients that are in the actual supplement are not in high enough quantities for them to actually work. For example, the most effective supplement in all these pre-workouts is going to be caffeine, and even caffeine is underdosed in these pre-workouts. And let me explain why. Most pre-workouts have about 200 to 300 milligrams of caffeine, which is actually a pretty high amount. But if you look at the research and if you look at the actual amount of caffeine you need to physically improve performance, especially your strength, these dosages in research are much higher than what you get in regular pre-workouts. In fact, they're about like 2 or 3 times higher than what you get in regular pre-workouts. Now, I'm not saying that you go and take these high doses of caffeine, because there's definitely a high risk associated with high caffeine intake. Now, if you look at other ingredients in pre-workouts, such as citrulline malate, which has been shown in research to help with performance and help you get a pump, but if you look at most pre-workouts, it's so underdosed that they might as well not include it. With citrulline malate, the studied effective dose is about 6 to 8 grams, whereas most commercial pre-workouts put in only about 1 gram or so, which is not effective at all. Reason number two why I don't recommend using pre-workouts is the use of proprietary blends. And this simply means that if you look at almost any pre-workout in the market, and if you look at the label, they don't tell you exactly what quantity of ingredient they put in the product. They simply list out the ingredients that are in the product, but they don't tell you in what quantities they are in the product. Now, as a consumer, you should know exactly what you're getting in a product that you buy. But when you buy a pre-workout, you don't really know what quantities the ingredients are in the product. Most companies don't even list out how much caffeine is in the product, and this caffeine intake is pretty crucial because people have different levels of sensitivities to caffeine, and they also don't list out the quantities of other ingredients. And in most cases, what happens is that they put in a lot of filler ingredients, and the actual effective ingredients are in very low quantities. And this way, the companies save a lot of money and they charge you a premium price for basically giving you a lot of caffeine and a lot of filler ingredients. The third reason why I don't recommend that you use a pre workout supplement is because these supplements build up tolerance over time. And what this simply means that uh, the first time you might take the supplement, you'll see a lot of good effects from it. Your performance will go up in the gym, and over time, your performance will diminish as time goes on. And this is because your body builds up tolerance to all these stimulants, especially caffeine. You may have experienced this with caffeine. If you drank coffee for the first time, you got an energy boost out of it, but over time you don't really feel anything, and this is because your body becomes more used to it. So you might be using a pre-workout to improve your performance, but over time it's not really going to improve your performance in the long term because your body simply gets used to it. The number four reason why I don't recommend pre-workouts is because you build up a dependency on it. And these stimulants, especially stimulants such as caffeine, it's very easy for you to get addicted to them. And in fact, when you stop taking caffeine and other stimulants, you get a lot of withdrawal symptoms from it. What happens is that over time, you become so dependent on using stimulants that you require a certain amount of stimulants just to stay at baseline. So your body has physically has a dependency on them. So even if you want to do a simple workout, you would have to depend on your pre-workout just to get through it. The number five reason why I don't recommend that you use a pre-workout is that it can increase your stress and anxiety levels. Now, caffeine by itself is known to increase your stress and anxiety levels. Caffeine also increases your heart rate and your blood pressure. Some people like to use things like L-theanine to reduce the anxiety levels, but it will still add to your overall stress. Now, we all have a limited capacity to recover from stress, and stress can come from all sources of life. It can either be your psychological stress and the physical stress. So, when we train, we incur a lot of physical stress, and then when we have other stresses in life such as work, all these stresses add up, and if you don't manage your stress correctly, it will affect your overall recovery. What happens with pre-workouts is that they artificially increase your performance in the gym, and then when you end up training harder than you should, your body also has to recover from that hard training. So your body is used to training a certain way, and then you add in an external stimulus to push yourself even harder than you should. And in the long term, it's going to affect your recovery. The sixth reason why I don't recommend that you use a pre workout is probably the most important reason why you should not use a pre workout, and that is it affects your sleep. Now, when it comes to training, you must have heard the phrase called eat, sleep, train, repeat, because these are the pillars of your training success. Your actual training, your nutrition, and then your sleep for recovery. If you have these three things in order, then you don't really need to worry about anything else. Now, sleep is so important in terms of recovery that no supplement out there can even match the effects of a good night's sleep. Stimulants such as caffeine, they block your body's ability to fall asleep, and caffeine has a pretty long half-life in your body. So, for example, if you take in 200 milligrams of caffeine right now, and if you check your blood caffeine levels like 8 hours later, you will still find about 100 milligrams caffeine in your system. So, what happens is when you take a pre-workout, especially later on in the day, what happens is it affects your sleep quality. Even if you think that you're able to fall to sleep, it definitely affects your sleep quality. So if you don't get quality sleep, what happens is that the next day you feel tired again, and then if you feel tired again, you feel like taking a pre-workout again, and when you take a pre-workout again, it affects your sleep quality even further. So this is like a vicious cycle that keeps on going, and you have to break this cycle. And the seventh and final reason why I don't use and recommend a pre-workout is that recently, within the past 1 or 2 years, a lot of these pre-workout companies, they've been caught with adding banned substances such as amphetamines into their pre-workouts. So these are like illegal stimulants which may boost performance, and it's not even listed on the label. But if you're an athlete who competes in a drug-tested competition like I do, you want to stay away from these pre-workouts because you may think that you're getting some, using only the legal ingredients, but they might be spiked with these illegal ingredients. In fact, a lot of athletes have been caught and they've failed drug tests because of these added ingredients, which are illegally added to these pre-workouts. So these are my top seven reasons why you should not use a pre-workout. First reason, they are usually overpriced and they're underdosed. Second reason, they use proprietary blends, so you don't really know what you're getting. Reason number three is that it's very easy to build up tolerance, and these supplements become very ineffective over time. Reason number four is that you can develop a dependency on these supplements. Reason number five is that they add to your overall stress levels. Reason number six is, and probably the most important reason, is that they definitely affect your sleep quality. And reason number seven is that you have to be careful with banned substances that are being added to these pre workout supplements. Now, all that being said, there are a few rare handful of companies that I consider to be like honest companies, and their supplements usually have all the ingredients listed in the exact quantities, and the ingredients are usually in the proper studied doses. But those companies are very rare. If you wanted to use some of the effective ingredients that you find in pre-workouts, you could simply go ahead and buy those ingredients yourself and mix your own pre-workouts. So for example, if you don't want to use caffeine or other stimulants because it affects your sleep and your stress levels, but you want to use some other ingredients that you might find useful, then you can make your own pre-workout supplement that way. If you want to learn more about these effective ingredients, leave a comment below and let me know, and I'll make another video explaining what are the most effective supplements you can take pre-workout and in what quantities you should take them. I hope this video was informative, and I hope that you can now make a better decision when buying supplements next time. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button and make sure to subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.